Today we are looking at the reacting ionic species in Aqueous Solutions Lab. So we're going to mix a bunch of chemicals together and find out what precipitates are formed. Now, I have this set up so that you guys can see what chemicals we're mixing together in that grid that you can actually see on page 2 of your lab handout. So if you turn it over, we got a grid there. So I have chemical names across the top to show you what chemicals are going to go in these columns down here. And then I have also ones that are going to go across the side here. So in this first column, or first block, we are going to mix together sodium chloride, and we are going to mix together barium nitrate. So if we see a precipitate, we're going to see a solid form. So let me start filling these blocks in, and then we'll see what solids we end up getting. Okay, so all I did so far was just put these chemicals in. So I put these ones across the top and I just dripped them in down. No reactions have taken place yet. So I'm going to start filling in these horizontal ones. And if a solid forms, the whole solution is going to go opaque. So we'll see like a really distinctive white compound, or we'll see a really distinctive yellow compound. Now these are yellow just because the solution is already yellow. So we're looking for a solid to form, not just a change in color. This first one across horizontally is barium nitrate. So I'm going to start putting my barium nitrate in across the top. So no reaction happened in that first one. No reaction happened in the second. Now that one might be hard for you to see, but it kind of changed color. And I'll move this white paper when we get to the end because that's kind of inhibiting you to see that we made a precipitate. But look at the two below it. They're still kind of clear. This one is a precipitate. So that one has formed a precipitate. So let's try our last two. That one formed a precipitate as well, this one right here. Again, I'll move the paper out of the way so we can see towards the end. Nothing happened with that one. So far, the only two precipitates we have are those blocks right there. So now let's try the barium chloride. Nothing happened with the first one. Nothing happened with the second one. Now that one just did the same thing as the first one, so that is a precipitate. So that's a positive test for a precipitate for that one. Let's try the last one. And that one is a precipitate. Let's go with the sodium sulfate. Nothing happened with that one. Nothing happened with that one. And nothing happened with that one either. We have no precipitates in this column at all. So let's go down to the sodium chromate. No precipitates formed in that one. And no precipitates formed in that one either. So we have no precipitates. And let's look at the last one, the sodium nitrate. And nothing happened with that one either. So the only precipitates we got out of this lab are those four. Let me move this out of the way so that you guys can see. Now you can see a little better, but you can't see what chemicals I was using. But those four are the precipitates. They're sort of like an opaque. you can't see through the solution anymore. Versus these ones, you still can see through the solutions. These ones are yellow because the sodium chromate was yellow, so this one, and this one, but no solid was formed. You can still see through them. So those are our only 4 precipitates. So you can now start on the questions for the lab. So question 1 wants you to write out a balanced reaction for just those 4. So you might have to rewind the video or check your data table to see which ones formed precipitates or which combinations of chemicals form precipitates. And you're going to write out a balanced reaction for each one of those, a complete ionic equation, and a net ionic equation. Don't forget to include your states of matter and include charges for your complete and net ionic equation. On the last page, you're going to use that chart at the top, and you're going to use answer questions 1 through 5. So you're going to write a complete, net, and balanced reaction for that. It just kind of walks you through the steps. And just to give you a hint, for question 2, that chart is really going to help you out.